RTFC started with volunteers, and over the past 75 years has grown to over 130 employees. Along the way, building a paramilitary, safety-first culture that strives for excellence and continuous improvement. Flexible enough to encourage innovation, but rigid enough to ensure effective consistency. Good people with shared values, adhering to a common culture, allow the organization to make progress towards its vision. They are the organization, and it takes all of them. Firefighters, dispatchers, and admin employees working together to be successful. A big part of the firefighter's success comes from the tremendous amount of continuous training that converts technique into muscle memory. From the humble training fields of the 60s and 70s to its current 17-acre state-of-the-art training academy, RTFC ensures that its legacy of highly trained recruits continues to set the standard for firefighter safety and training.
Riley Maxon, Assistant Fire Chief with RTFC, and I oversee the Training Academy.
David Martinez, I've been here 26 years. I'm in charge of the safety department.
In order to have an effective industrial firefighter, training is essential. And that's what it comes down to, is being able to make sure that they're able to respond proficiently and adequately to protect our customers and their needs, and doing so safely so that they can return home the same way they got here. We don't just check a box, we make sure they're good to go, good to respond.
It's all about supporting the guys and give them what they need to achieve those goals. Down from the right gear to use, the PPE they need, and along with that, the best training that they could get. You know, and it's always that. Those combinations, it matters. It matters. And the camaraderie is there because we all know what we're dealing with. We have a common thing, and that's danger in front of us, and we have to be able to recognize it, recognize the hazards, and be able to respond to that and try to eliminate that so we could go home safely.
When faced with a real-time crisis, the firefighters of RTFC rely on the training, the camaraderie, and their instincts to do what is required of them. The stories they could tell are endless.
I remember being in the back thinking like, man, you know, adrenaline's rushing, adrenaline's going. It's probably gonna be my first actual big fire. And you can start seeing the glow. You start seeing that orange glow, right? So we pull up, and as soon as we pull up, it's like everything opens up. You see the fire, you see how massive and how big everything is. You've seen fire trucks already there, the fire chief's already there, people already going. And I remember looking out the window and staring and almost kind of like mesmerized, hypnotized by it. And started thinking to myself, like, what have I gotten myself into? It was crazy, you know, for me. And so that was, I think for me, my first realization of how big things can get, and quickly, and how we can mobilize so many units and so many personnel in a short amount of time at this company.
Crazy thing is, you know, I'm nervous already, and I got these feelings in me, and the phone rings, and I'm looking for the phone, trying to drive, and I pick up the phone, and the captain at the West Plant calls and said, "Hey, man, Rod, you got a big one." So here I go, my blood just boils, you know. I'm like, oh man, here we go, we got a good one going. When I'm driving, getting there, truck, for some reason, I'm going about 70 on the freeway, and this thing starts bouncing. Bow, bow, bow. I'm like, what's going on with the truck? It starts hopping, bow, bow. So I realized that I'm driving, I look down, and it's not the truck that's acting up, it's my foot. My foot starts shaking, and it starts bouncing, so it's like a rodeo trying to get me off the horse, you know.
And as I'm running to her, I see this older lady sitting in a wheelchair, right? And I come in front of her, I said, what's wrong? And right then I knew, I don't know if she was unconscious, if she wasn't breathing. And then I hear the lady says, she's choking. So I come underneath her, are you choking? She's not talking to me, right? She's in a wheelchair like this. And I think to myself, you know, I'm a CPR instructor. I've been doing it for years. And I always try to give different scenarios on how you would do something. And I knew I had to be hard, I knew I had to be firm. And finally, over a minute, and I hear something go, and then all of a sudden I went, pop, and it shot out. Poof. Oh my gosh, you should have seen everybody. It was her birthday, 96 years old.
Man.
Could you imagine? 96 years old. And it really touched me, it really did. Because they were there celebrating her 96th birthday, right? And of course there was a lot of praising, and I wasn't expecting it, right? I mean, you know, firemen were tough, and they got me.
The people and the culture are the cornerstones of the organization. And over the past 75 years, those same people have built it into the largest not-for-profit industrial firefighting organization in the United States, with people and equipment, trained firefighters that are second to none. The organization currently protects 60 facilities for 21 member companies. We also have 5 implants that range from Corpus Christi, Texas, all the way to Sabine Pass, Louisiana. RTFC delivers a unified response of full-time, field-experienced, constantly training, specialized industrial firefighters. They have access to a multitude of number and types of best-in-class industrial apparatus. So if you are wanting to become a member of RTFC, the reason you want to do that is so that you can sleep at night. That's basically what all of our clients tell us is, when I place my membership, I feel like I can sleep at night.